The New York Giants. Yes, it's not good for New York football teams lately because obviously the Jets, they fired their GM. Now, the New York Giants has officially released quarterback Daniel Jones, man. So with that being said, man, what's your thoughts on this, man?
About damn time. Uh, man, Daniel Jones has not been good since he's been in the league, man. Um, I think they've been in the playoffs once with him as the quarterback,
Yep,
and that was
only
like a couple of years ago, huh?
one playoff appearance in 6 seasons.
Yeah, man. He's not. There are worse quarterbacks in the league, not many. And out of all of the starting quarterbacks in the league, he was bottom four for sure. Um,
Mm.
I think that this reflects more on the Giants organization itself than him, though. Um, he didn't ask them to draft him and bring him up there, and didn't plan on putting anything around him. I think that they made so many mistakes in handling this. I think they went out on a limb. I don't know if they were trying to prove something to somebody by drafting a quarterback from Duke or whatever, but they whatever their intentions were, I don't think it worked out how they planned it. And I think that they better be careful, or they're going to end up one of those bottom dwelling franchises where people's career goes to die, like Vegas and probably like looks like Chicago now. Just
Okay.
it's just one of those things, man. They got to be careful. But it reflects on them. They've made terrible management decisions within the last. I can't remember the last time the Giants were actually a really good football team.
When Eli Manning was there with Odell Beckham.
Yeah, and I think that was an accident.
Dude, dude, the Giants have not won the division since 2011.
Understandable.
Since 2011, the Cowboys have won it 5 times. The Eagles won it 4 times, and then the Washington Commanders actually won it 3 times. Like they've been
Wow,
the worst team in that division, man.
wow. Well, but you know what they can say? They're the only team in that division. Well, no, they're not. I forgot Philly won. I was about to say they won a championship within the last 20 years, but Philly has won one.
Right. Yeah,
But
man. I I don't feel bad for them at all because I'm a Cowboys
I
fan.
was about to say, of course you don't.
I never believed in Daniel Jones when they drafted him coming out of Duke. I was like, wait, where is this coming from? Um, and I just feel like that, and I can't even attack that draft class. Normally, that would be my angle when players get released or traded or whatever would happen. I can't even use that angle because that was actually a bad draft class during that time though. Not many players has there haven't been there hasn't been a player that you can call like really an all pro in that draft class. You can, I mean, do you consider Kyler Murray an all pro? I mean,
No.
you can make a case for Bosa. They had our Debo was there. He was even though he was a second round draft pick. But outside of that, and that was kind of a bad draft class, man. And I don't know what the Giants were thinking. I kind of felt like they should have traded that pick away. Now that you think about it, like that was like the Giants are one of the most horrible teams when it comes to drafting players. I would say them and the Las Vegas Raiders. Like I just be like, what? What are you doing?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was that draft class wasn't exactly bad. It just wasn't good. It wasn't a good draft for quarterbacks. But you had some nice players that come out in that draft. Just in the first round, like you said, you had Bosa, you had Quentin Williams,
Mhm.
Devin White went right before
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, um, Josh Allen, not the quarterback, the outside linebacker,
Yeah.
Hawkinson. I like Devin Bush. He hadn't really materialized to be much in the NFL, but coming in, he was supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins, even though he passed, Noah Fant, he's a serviceable tight end. Josh Jacobs, Hollywood Brown
Mm.
was in there, Montez Sweat. Um,
Wasn't AJ Brown in that draft class?
AJ Brown was in the second round, I believe, of that draft class. I was just going over the first round ones. Boy, I remember when I remember when the Patriots drafted N'Keal Harry, they thought they had hit right there. Boy, that was
Oh my god.
crazy. That was
Yeah,
terrible,
man.
man.
So is it safe to say Daniel Jones has been a bust then in
Oh
that?
hell yeah, yeah, he's a bust. He's a bust, man. I believe if you look up the definition of bust, he'll be right there.
Yeah.
Uh waving his hand, man, standing
The,
behind a couple of more
the
busts.
the thing that makes my mind go crazy is the dude actually went to the team after they benched him and requested to grant him to get released. In his mind, he's saying, "Hey, I'm as good as to be a starter on any team." That's what he feels like.
Well, I
He
mean,
thinks
you
he can be
gotta
a
feel that way.
starter.
You gotta feel that way. If you're an NFL player, you gotta feel that way, especially if you've been a starter. But when you putting in Tony Cutlass, whatever his
Wow,
name is, instead of me, I got to be pissed off that they had him running with the fourth team offense. I heard um,
wow.
that may be bad information because I don't know any team that has a fourth string offense. But
So you're a coach. Would you put him as a fourth string though, man?
you don't go from my starter to being the fourth string. That mean that mean what the hell did I have you starting for in the first place? You know what I mean?
So if you even if he's been playing bad, like you wouldn't.
If he been playing bad, I never should have had him in there. You don't go from first string to fourth string. That's ridiculous. I don't care what position you playing. If I had three people better than you at that position and I had you starting, I should be fired.
So is Brian Dabble's job in jeopardy?
His job is in jeopardy just because he's the New York Giants coach, and they're not a good franchise. They're not a good team, and it's going to take a whole lot to turn that around. They're going to have to absolutely knock it out the park with their next draft pick to salvage him. They're going to have a whole complete good draft. It ain't going to be just the first round pick. They're going to have to hit on the second, the third, and the fourth round picks to be able to help them for him to be able to
Wow.
salvage his job. And I don't think there are any free agents that want to go to New York. Crazy as that sounds. But I believe right now them and the Jets are on par with each other.
Wow. I think the Jets are a better team though. I think the Jets still a better team.
Should their records say different? I think I think both of them are ass, and I think that if you're a free agent and they tell you that the Jets want you and the Giants want you, you be like, don't nobody else want me? I don't, I don't want to go to either one of those guys.
So this is how bad Daniel Jones has been. So the dude is ranked 19th in passing yards. He
Hmm.
is ranked uh 29th in completion percentage. He is ranked 42 in touchdown passes. That's bad, man. That's
Yeah,
really bad. Um
42 in touchdown passes. That means it's only 30. What is 32 teams in the league?
yeah.
That means it's 10 second string quarterbacks that
Yeah.
have more touchdown passes than your sorry ass. Ah, nah, bro. They should have cut him, bro.
He has been sacked the fifth most times. in the NFL right now with 25, with 29 this year. The guy, the two guys that's ahead of him, one of them is a rookie, Caleb Williams. Where I'm not surprised. Normally, rookies, you'll see that with rookies, starting quarterbacks with rookies. Um, and then Deshaun Watson, who's not even playing right now. He actually has one of the worst QBRs right now in the NFL, ranked 26 right now.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
quarterback rating, he's actually in the bottom four right now when it comes to quarterback rating.
Yeah. I mean, that's none of that's surprising to me, man. I look at it, and it's 32 teams in the league, and I just started looking at the starting quarterbacks for all of them. He could not be my starter. Um, Drake Mays actually looked pretty good. Um, so he could not be my starter in the AFC East. He could not be my starter in the AFC North. He could not be my start. Well, he could possibly be my starter in Tennessee in the AFC South. Um, Even possibly Indianapolis. He could compete for the start of that because they don't know what they're doing. They keep on benching Richardson, and
Yeah.
that. So he have a chance there. Um,
So do you blame this on the management, or do you blame this on more on Daniel Jones?
I blame the management because they're just a poorly run franchise right now. Um, True enough, they should have seen. I think that they should have seen that he wasn't NFL starting material before they drafted him. And whatever it is, I would love to know what they saw on film or what their scouts saw when they went and watched him to say, you know what, with that number 6 pick, Daniel Jones, nobody gonna expect that. We going quarterback.
What was your reaction when they paid him all that money, 160 million, 23 million guaranteed?
Damn, boy. I said I'm finna find somebody to teach my son how to throw the football because they just give the money away. He's a running back and an outside linebacker, but he needs to learn how to throw that damn football.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
can't teach him.
The huge narrative that people have been using lately, as now that he actually has been released, is the Saquon Barkley situation where, they did pay him that money. That same year, they franchise tag Saquon, and I think during like the first 2 weeks of the season, they end up giving Saquon a 1 year deal worth $11 million. So they're saying now it's like, hey, you paid Daniel Jones that money where you could have gave it to Saquon Barkley, and look what Saquon's doing for Philadelphia, and you are no longer with an NFL team.
Well, well, I look at it like this. It wasn't an either or because they did franchise him and they did give him that 1 year deal, but they paid Daniel Jones that first year. But the very next year, last year, they could have still paid Saquon. They just chose not to. That's where I start saying it's a management issue. You picked, you chose not to pay Saquon. You had already paid Daniel Jones. That money was gone, but you still had new money that you could have given to Saquon Barkley. But you went out and got Devin Singletary and said he could do the same thing Saquon can do.
Mm. So there's nothing nobody could say to defend Daniel Jones. Can you even defend he didn't get no help? Can you defend that?
He didn't have help, but when you look at his completion percentage and some of the passes that he's known for throwing. Um, it's not that you could have the best receivers in the world with some of those passes that he was throwing, they wouldn't be able to catch him. Like you have Malik Neighbors now, and he's such a good receiver. He makes some of those bad balls look like they're good or at least decent balls because
Yeah.
he's such a good receiver. But I mean, how many receivers you need, bro? I mean, it's certain things you can blame on help, but certain things you have to look in the mirror and say, "Damn, I throw some terrible balls, bro. I panic. I can't take pressure at all. I need to learn how to read defenses better." You
What's
know, certain things that he has to work on himself that I don't believe he did. He improved since he's been in the league.
what and and the guys that he had a 63 completion percentage, and this is nothing to be proud of. The guys that he's ahead of, some of them have even played every single game. Guys like he's ahead of, Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, Jameis Winston, Bryce Young, Spencer Rattler. These are guys that haven't even played the entire season, and that's nothing to be proud of. That's pathetic, man. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I look at it, man. Daniel Jones, this was bound to happen. I'm never happy when somebody loses their job, but he's a backup, dude. He's a backup. He'll hang around in the league for a few more years as a backup. Um, I don't believe that I don't believe that he's not an NFL quarterback. He's just not a starting NFL quarterback. If he
yeah,
was a backup, say he was a backup at Dallas instead of Cooper Rush, I think you would feel a lot better about him going in and instead of Cooper Rush or Trey Lance right now, wouldn't you?
yeah, that's true.
I know for sure I would have felt better about when Derek Carr went down, him going in instead of my rookie Spencer Rattler. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would have felt a lot better about that. And San Francisco, they're starting a dude named Allen this week. I'm sure
yeah,
they would feel a lot better with sending Daniel Jones in right now instead of him.
yeah, man. It's basically a major reset for the New York Giants now. I see Daniel Jones nothing more than a backup quarterback in the NFL. Now it's pretty evident that the Giants know what they have to do in the NFL draft. Um, I, I'm I don't think they're gonna try to go in free agency and find themselves a quarterback, because I think it would be a huge mistake. Because they do need a franchise quarterback, though, because the guys that's in that free agency are not franchise quarterbacks, in my opinion. I think they're like a temporary fix. Guys like Justin Fields, uh, um, Sam Darnold, Russell Wilson, your boy Aaron Rodgers. They say he may not be returning to the New York Jets.
He needs to return to his damn house.
Hey man, you're looking very intelligent when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. Everybody from the MBS team thought Aaron Rodgers was gonna make it happen. Now, don't look so good, man.
It's the glasses.
so so now what should the Giants do? What would you do if you're the New York Giants? Should you tank the rest of the season? Should
Uh,
you
I wouldn't tank. I'm not a tank. I'm not a fan of tanking. I'm not a fan of tanking. You look at some of the um the the free agent quarterbacks that are going to be out on the market again. You mentioned it: Sam Darnold, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson will be back out there. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Mason Rudolph, sorry ass, Andy Dalton, Joe Flacco, he'll be back out
I
there.
wouldn't go after any of those quarterbacks, man.
Jared Jared Stidham and Tyler Huntley. All right, so you look at that, right? You look at those guys, and then you look at the guys that are in the draft that'll be available. So I'm just gonna go by how they're ranked right now. So chances are they'll have a top 6 pick, right?
Yeah.
So they're not gonna be. They're not gonna. Let's just go with the 6 top quarterbacks right now. Number 1 is Shadur Sanders.
Right.
Number 2, you got Cam Ward. Number 3, you have Quinn Ewers. Number 4, you have Jalen Milrow. Number 5 as of right now, but hopefully he comes back, Garrett Nussmeier. Hopefully he just stays in college another year and builds it up, maybe to be the number 1 pick next year. Number 6, Carson Beck. So we just went with the top 6. So if everybody in the draft takes a quarterback, you'll end up with Carson Beck as your quarterback. But everybody's not going to do that. So one of those 6 people I just named can be your starting quarterback next year. I don't know. Is that a better option than all of those free agents?
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's a better option. It's a better option. But let's see, QB draft 2020, 2026. What quarterbacks are going to be in the draft in 2026?
Your boy Nussmeier, like you said.
Hopefully, but he could go this year. You know what I mean? They so right now I don't know how accurate this is. It can't be this accurate because I don't think you have to be a junior before you can come out, right?
Right.
All right. So the number 1 player they have right now is quarterback in the 2026 draft is Arch Manning. All right. So.
Oh wow.
So they have what's his name, Nico Amalevo, whatever from Tennessee.
From Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah. Dante Moore, who hadn't played a snap yet in Oregon. Aiden Childs in Michigan State, and Jackson Arnold over there in Oklahoma. I think he's going to be good by then too. So you could take one of these scrubs as a stopgate instead of just getting a guy that you don't, that's not going to be the dude. Would you rather tell me this? Would you rather take Quinn Ewers this year or wait and take Arch Manning the year afterwards?
I'm going with the big prize, Arch Manning.
Right. So do you take a damn Joe Flacco and let him go out there and make sure y'all suck this year too, so you can get that number 1 pick the following year.
Yeah.
Right. I just don't think that you just take a quarterback that you don't think is going to change the trajectory of your team. And the only ones that I think that can change the trajectory of someone's team right now is Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. I don't think any of those other guys in their top 6 can change it right now, can go right in and actually pull a Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I just can't see anybody else to as far as franchise changing quarterbacks for the New York Giants. But like you said though, the New York Giants, they need to have a good draft though, man, because if they don't, man, it's gonna be another bad failed season. And them Giants fans, man, they are the worst, man. They have no type of patience at all. So I mean, I'm not sure what's gonna happen with the Giants though, man, but it's this just another disappointing season for the man. And I blame every component from it, from Daniel Jones, from the fans to the management. It happens to all of them, even the coaching staff. Also, I think they need to even do a reset on their coaching staff.
I think they definitely need a whole overhaul. The only person that I would have kept from that whole Giant organization is already gone. That was Saquon Barkley, and of course Malik Nabers, but last year before the draft, I wouldn't have kept them. They were on Hard Knocks. They had a special Hard Knocks over the summer, and the guy, I only watched the first episode, and it was when they were trying to figure out if they were going to pay Saquon or not, and he just started talking about other people that they can get. And I remember and this was after I already knew who they got. He was talking about Devin Singletary And I was like, boy, what the hell? I need to see why you thought that was going to replace Saquon. And
Dude.
I never turned it back on because it made me so mad that he even brought that up. And that's what they actually did. I just wanted to see what went into his mind with it. I might go watch that tonight.
So if the Giants do draft Shador, can you see Dion going to the Giants for their to be the next head coach over there?
They would want to do that. I don't think the management is smart enough to do it.
Yeah, I don't think so either, man. But I think there's a good chance they do go after Shador though. There's no way they wouldn't go after Shador.
If they don't, that's their bad. That's something that's another reflection on their organization.
Right, right, right. Well,
Yeah, so I
well,
mean,
man.
I wish them nothing but the best. They're not in my division, so hopefully they can get it turned around. But it just starts in management. It starts in management because most of the time right now you're not going to be able to just throw money at people and get them to come there because there are no high profile quarterbacks out there going to be free agents this year. They missed that boat. Um, and this year, they don't even have any high profile, I think, running backs or anything that's gonna change really change their franchise. I mean, they got Aaron Jones, James Conner, Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, Javonte Williams, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Rico Dowell, Alexander Madison, and Khalil Herbert. Those are the big prizes at running back, and that's saying a lot. I don't think any of
Oh
those
my
guys are gonna put
god.
butts in seats. And
Yeah.
wide receivers a little better. They got T. Higgins, Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, Deontay Johnson, um, Darius Slayton, Keenan Allen, Demarcus Robinson, and Joshua Palmer. They're
They got
all
a good field. They got a good field of wide receivers for free agency.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, but that's not none of those are are game changing or not game changing. Let's just say they're not franchise changing
Uh,
acquisitions. You know what
uh
I mean?
yeah. Okay, my question to you is, will Daniel Jones get picked up by a team before the season's over?
It's hard to answer, man. I can't think of a team that would actually need him, barring injury. Maybe if a playoff team gets a injury and they don't have a serviceable backup, but I don't really see that happening. To be honest with you, maybe that's just me or whatever. I mean, hopefully, I guess, but they're not. I don't think it's going to happen. To be honest, no, I don't think that's going to happen.
I
Um,
I don't think it's gonna happen. Also, I just don't think no team is gonna need his services. I think he will get picked up during the off season though. Like I will be
yeah,
surprised if he gets a bit signed as a backup. Yeah.
that's why I was like, I could see somebody signing him as a backup on the offset. His NFL career isn't over, but just being able to be a starting quarterback, he's not like um I'm trying to think of somebody who could get if Jameis Winston got cut, I could see him getting signed. You know what I mean? He's uh he's a backup. Jameis Winston is a backup, but he can be a starter if you need him. And I think Daniel Jones will be one of those guys next year.
I never seen a quarterback got released during the during while the season's going on. Normally they'll get released for like, when like bad situations is happening, but with this, getting released because of I would say performance, because I don't think they were planning to release him. They probably were planning to release him when the season was over, but he kind of pulled the trigger on it. He said, "Hey, I'm out of here. I want to be out."
Yeah, that's because usually everybody just takes their benching and shuts up about it and say, "Well, hell, now I just get paid to chill out." He didn't
Yeah,
do that. He wants to be on the field. He thinks that he's more valuable than he actually is. I read. I don't know. Do you watch Power?
yeah,
All right. You know Omari Hardwick, right?
yeah.
Ghost. All right. That 50 Cent did an interview recently, and they told him that Amari said that he never was paid what he was supposed to be paid on Power. And 50 Cent says, I think that Amari, he values himself way too high. He values himself way too high, and that's why he thinks that. And I think that everyone should have themselves a high value, but
But you
in that
should know where your value's at, though.
right, and I personally don't agree with 50. I think that Ghost was the main character in that series.
No, no, he was though. He was though, because every single time I, I watch Power a lot, and we always debate, hey, is Ghost coming back? Is he
Yeah,
alive? Is he gonna come back?
yep,
Power ain't the same no more. They killed him off too early. Like
yep.
certain things like that though. I think he's a big deal though. But I think if Amari Hardwick went somewhere else, I don't think he would be a big deal like that. I only think he would be a big deal being in Power, because that's what we
Yeah,
know him as.
yeah. He's definitely he's Ghost now. That's that's one thing. He
Yeah.
is Ghost, and that's pretty much all he's gonna be from now on. He's been
Mhm.
in another. I saw him in another movie. He was in a movie with Tiffany Haddish. I can't even think of the name of the movie. And the whole time I was like, why Ghost acting like this? You know what I mean? So it's like at
Ugh.
this point, I believe he was way more valuable to that franchise than Daniel Jones is to the Giants.
No, that's true. That's
That was
definitely
me
true.
bringing that was me bringing it up.
Well,
So
best of
I feel like I brought that up because 50 Cent didn't even think that he was as valuable to that franchise. So Daniel Jones thinking that he's that valuable to the Giants is wild.
no, yeah, Malik Neighbors is that valuable.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
um, well, man, best of luck to Daniel Jones, and